Today, my talk is concerning with Eng-4101 research paper writing. It is intended for the 4th year English specialization students of University of Distance Education. I think you have learned what research is, 2 types of research paper, and how to choose a subject. Now I will explain how to use the library and the way to narrow the focus. Using the library. If you have never written a research paper before, you may be surprised at how much time you spend in the library, finding relevant and useful materials. You will move many times between the catalog, the reference area, the indices, the book text, the periodicals ROM, and possibly the microform readers. You will also have to consult the librarians a number of times. The process may seem complicated at first, but all it takes to become familiar with the library is some practice. Your instructor or a librarian may give you an orientation tour of the library, but after that, you should never hesitate to ask one of them for help. As an information sheet for students in one university library puts it, do not be afraid to ask for help. Why? The reference librarians will not choose a topic for you or determine which aspect of a topic you should explore. They will help you to identify your interest and to select opening sets of terms. If you are unsure about how to choose, narrow and refine your topic. If you are not sure where to begin or how to proceed. If you do not understand the organization of a source, example, catalog, bibliography, index, etc., or the meaning of certain symbols or abbreviations, ask a reference librarian. Try them, you will like them. Do not expect that all you are walking about in the library will always lead you to the books and articles you are looking for. Part of the initial research activity is almost always frustration at not finding what you want. Keep on looking until you are certain that the materials are not available for your topic, and only then consider changing to a topic for which information is more easily available. A basic library research strategy. A typical strategy for beginning to work in the library includes the following 3 steps. 1. When you have selected a topic, try to get general background knowledge by reading an encyclopedia entry about it. Aim to find some keywords or key phrases called search terms for your later subject section of catalog and indices. 2. Look for books by subject, author, or title. Start searching for them in library catalogs. Make use of the Library of Congress subject heading. If your library uses this classification system to help you find appropriate search terms. 3. Look for periodicals articles by subject or author. Start searching for them in printed or computerized indices. Library of Congress call number. Each book in the library is assigned a call number. This is the number that is written on the spine of the book. In a catalog, it is shown prominently because it is a number you see in order to locate the book on the library shelves. The Library of Congress classification system and the Dewey Decimal System are the most common types of numbering. The Library of Congress system is the most used one in college and university libraries, and so it is the one discussed here. An example of a call number is B105 V996 1962. This is for the book Thought and Language by ls Vygotsky. The numbers have the following meaning. P105, class number. V996, author number. 1962, date of publication. Here, the P stands for the general subject area, in this case, language and literature. And the 105 is a sequence of numbers for further subdivisions of the class number. Sometimes, the class number starts with 2 letters, with the second letter referring to a subdivision of the subject. The V is the first part of the author number, also called the book number. This usually starts with the first letter of the author's last name, in this sense, Vygotsky, and this letter is followed by a number sequence for further subdivision of the book category. The third line in this example is the date of this edition of the book, in this case 1962. When you are looking for books, you must be sure to copy out exactly the whole core number, keeping the letters and numbers in the right order. To find a book, follow these steps. 1. Start on the left of the class number to find the area of the library shelves where books with the first letter are located. 2. Work from left to right. If there is then another letter, find its shelf location within the area indicated by the first letter. 3. Then, work from left to right with the numerals to locate the area of each numeral in turn. The numerals referring to subsection of subject areas become more specific as you work through them. 4. Next, move to the book or author number. Again, work from left to right, taking each letter and numeral in turn, on at a time. Again, you will be getting more and more specific. And if the book is on the shelf, not out on loan and not out of position, you should find it when you reach the last numeral. Note also, A. If you see a small letter Q or F before the class number, this means that the book is a larger size, quarto or folio, and is in a different section of the library. Ask a librarian about the location. B. Sometimes, after the author number or date, you will see a small letter C with a number following it. This simply means copy and refers to how many copies are in the library. For example, C2 means second copy. C. Sometimes, for extra subdivision, the class number has 2 lines, or the author number has an extra letter among the numerals, or a line has a decimal point in it. The following library exercise will give you practice in different aspects of library use. Do them as directed by your instructor. Some in class, some for homework, and most of them in the library. After that, I will continue narrowing the focus. Narrowing the focus, work out which specific aspect of your subject area you will investigate and write about. That is, narrow down or limit the focus of interest from a general subject to a specific topic. Make a note of this limited topic on a sheet of paper and hand it into your instructor. Add a few sentences explaining how you have narrowed it down to make this last point clear. Contrast your narrowed topic with a broader one within the same subject area. A suitably narrow or limited topic to do research on is always work out after very careful thought. Unless you are already very familiar with your subject, you will probably discover as you begin to do the research that you have not limited it enough. At this stage, however, this is not a problem. In fact, it is part of the interest of the activity. You undertake research to find out what you do not know, and part of the learning is to discover how much has already been written on your topic. To limit your topic, first, survey what has so far been published. Note the different issues that are discussed. You will find that some are very general and others are more narrowly focused. Then, ask yourself whether you could select one of the issues discussed in these publications as a topic of your paper. You may find that some of the authorities on the subject disagree with each other on certain points. If so, these points, or one of them, may provide you with a topic to pursue further. Since such disagreement can give you an opportunity to think about the arguments and evidence and take your own position on the issue. Consider this example. A student of African history may start out with the history of British colonialism as a general subject area. After a little reading in this area, the subject could be narrowed down to research on why the British gradually withdrew from their African colonies during the last 50 years. After further reading, the same subject could be limited even more, possibly to a study of one or two countries. Even further restriction of the subject could be necessary. For example, historians may disagree about why the British withdrew from their African colonies, and so the research paper writer may decide to investigate which of these historian theories seem to provide the best explanation in regard to only one country. Example 1. Narrowed topic. The economic relationship between the automobile industries in Japan and the United States. In this topic, I will concentrate on how they have affected each other's sales recently and why they have affected each other. I will study the difference between the Japanese industry's point of view and the American one. Example 2. My narrow topic is an investigation of the relationship between depression and acceptiveness in an Eastern population. In this topic, depression and acceptiveness are both subjects that have been researched. Recently, the relationship between depression and acceptiveness in Western culture has been confirmed. I am going to research the same relationship between the two variables in an Eastern culture. The purpose of the study is to find out the kind of relationship that exists between depression and acceptiveness in the Egyptian population. Example 3. Narrowed topic. Some aspect of theoretical developments in the sampling theorem under the finite population model. In this topic, since the sampling theorem is too broad, I will concentrate my attention on the finite population model. Under this model, I will study some results from a theoretical point of view. Example 4. Narrowed topic. The use of audiovisual aids in language teaching. At first, I thought of writing about the use of the language laboratory, but a lot has already been done on that, especially on the use of videotapes with audio tapes. So I will narrow it to a new experimental field, which is the use of microcomputers in a language laboratory, because there are some disagreements about how they can be used. Some people say that they are hard for students to use and still too expensive. Example 5. My general subject was a comparison of Swiss and American schools. but since it is impossible to get references on 6 schools in such a short time, it will be mainly concentrated on US schools. Only at specific points, it is necessary to make comparisons to 6 schools. It will be focused on whether strict rules for classroom behavior encourage a humanistic school climate and/or self-discipline. Example 6. The topic is the effectiveness of domestic plastic package recycling in the United States. Since there is a wide range of application of plastic recycling, which includes the recycling of industrial plastic, and since these applications differ from country to country, it will be concentrated on the plastic packages which are collected in the US by households. With this narrowing, detailed chemical explanations should be left out to focus on the economic and environmental aspect. Example: general subject, health. Narrowed, health maintenance. Narrowed further, health maintenance in children. Narrowed further, education for children about health maintenance. Narrowed further, problems and solutions in educating children about health maintenance. Narrowed further, the use of television cartoons as a means of educating children about health maintenance. Narrowed further, the most effective type of television cartoon for educating children about health maintenance. I will end my talk here. I think you can learn how to use the library and the way to narrow the focus when you write a research paper. Good luck.